Hi everyone, and welcome to Generation D's tutorial on Facebook. This is the first of the tutorials that Generation D will be offering on a regular basis, so watch for more videos from us in the future. This series is on Facebook and it will be in 3 parts: beginning, intermediate, and advanced. This lesson will be on the beginning. We'll be touching on the core functions of what makes Facebook work. In later sessions, we'll be moving into the more advanced topics such as dealing with game requests, controlling the content of Facebook ads, and also touching on Facebook Etiquette. But this lesson is for people who are just getting into Facebook or aren't used to the new timeline features that they've added. So before we dive into what Facebook's operation is, we should probably talk a little bit about what Facebook is. Facebook is an internet giant, currently passing up all the other sites as the most visited on the web. Facebook is also one of the most used and most versatile forms of communication of the time. Facebook is not only used on the computer as an internet web page, but as Facebook apps can be found in all smartphones and many other pre-built in-game consoles, TVs, you name it. Most electronic devices have Facebook built in these days. Facebook provides options for messaging, live chat, advertising, calendar and event notifications, sharing of blogs, pictures, videos, and articles. Facebook also allows for group postings with a broader specific audience, completely controllable, and we'll go into some of that functionality when we begin to cover into just how well you can target your audience. Facebook also allows for gaming both independently or in social environments, and it allows a platform for local businesses to notify the community of specials, new locations, or other forms of social marketing, such as this video you are now watching. So with the background covered, let's go ahead and take a look at Facebook. So we're going to start off our tour of Facebook today with discussing the features of the home screen, which you can see here. I'd like to also take this time to point out in this video, at the time this video recorded, October of 2012, this is the most current version of Facebook. Facebook is constantly changing and reinventing its look and feel based on use, and more lately due to the demands of its marketing community. Facebook recently went public as a public traded stock, which has created a serious vacuum in its development and innovation, but that's a topic that I'm not even going to touch right now. So we'll continue on with the tutorial. So here we are on the Facebook home screen. Now the Facebook home screen is divided up into 5 basic sections. You've got your menu bar across the top. You've got your news feed. You've got your this will be an area for your notifications. This is an area for your advertisements, which unfortunately you can't make go away. And this is for all your applications and other notifications. So you've got technically you've got 3 areas that do notifications at different events, which we'll go into. You got an area for ads, and you got an area just to keep track of what's happening in your friends' lives and everything, which they call the news feed. So the first thing that happens when you usually open up your Facebook is that you might see little red numbers next to these little buttons up here. Well, these tell you have different kinds of message traffic. This one is notifications. Notifications is used to tell you if somebody left you a comment on a photo, or they invited you to an app or to a group of some kind. As you can see here, these are a lot of people liking photos and liking comments. Everything you post, people can basically make a comment on or say that they like it with the little thumb guy here. You click on it and it makes it so they can like your photo. The next one across the top is the message bar, and one thing people will notice with Facebook, it has many glitches. One we're noticing right now, we're going to click on the message bar and it's not giving us the messages. But if you click over here, you can usually get into your messages. So just keep that in mind, that being this is free to use, there are always glitches, even though they make more money than most of us do. The third button across the top is for friend requests. Facebook is a social website, so it's based on your linked relationships to other people. Now, some people have different philosophies about who should be their friends and who shouldn't be. The most predominant thing is that if you know somebody, even if they just acquaintances, then they end up on your Facebook friends list. It's not like you're asking them to come over to your house for dinner or go out and have a drink with them or something, but it's just, yes, I know this person, so I'll see their wonderful posts of their dog or hear their wonderful political thoughts as they show up in their stream. Anyone that you friend, their posts show up in your stream, which is what this news feed or stream is called here in the middle. If you like a website on Facebook or like a music or something like that, it's going to show up in your stream every time they post an update. If you liked us on Facebook, yeah, which you probably did, and that's how you get into this video, then our video updates are going to show up in the stream here. So that's this central part here. I should also point out at this time that Facebook has also added recently a friends feed over here. This one here is more for posts and things that they post new. If there's say a new advertisement, or if a friend of yours updates their status. This stream over here is a lot more active. It tells you whenever a friend comments on somebody else's status or something of that nature, then that shows up here, and you'll see this one moving a lot quicker. Or if somebody gets a new high score on the slot machines, then that'll show up over here. So I can always tell when my mother-in-law is playing slot machines and she won a big hit or lost all her credits or something like that. One more component is also this window here. This is your chat window. It lets you know which of your friends are online and available for instant chat or whatnot, or you can send a message this way. They've kind of integrated the chat options and the message options in the last updates of Windows. So if they're not online, then the message will go straight to their message center over here. Even if they are online, it still goes in that message history, which you can always go back and look and see the conversations you've had with somebody about that. So the green dot means that they are online. This device means that they're not currently on Facebook.com, but they have a mobile device with a Facebook application on it that will send instantly to them. And nothing at all means that they're just not online. And if you send them a chat message right now, it'll just go straight to their message. So let's spend a minute talking about this little corner of Facebook up here. There's some hearts and some little other icons up here. A heart usually refers to an update that has to do with marital or relationship or family status changes. So Facebook puts a lot of importance on these, so usually they end up on the top here with this, like this guy's updated his marital status. So you can click on this and it takes you to here, and you can write something to either of them, congratulating them for getting married or whatever. If you know, sometimes people update this later, so before you congratulate them on getting married, it's usually good to know that they actually just got married then and not got married earlier and changed their status. Next one down here is this little present icon that which basically shows it's somebody's birthday. I've got a cousin and a friend here that have a birthday, so take a second here, and if you just fill in their birthday information here, you can say happy birthday, or if you're feeling more sentimental, you can put something else in there. I just feel like writing happy birthday, and I can always tell them more in person, but it's never official until you wish them happy birthday on Facebook. So that's what we've done here. Sometimes it's a little trickier to get it to go in there. It should click once, but you got to make sure to press enter on both of them, otherwise it won't send. So that's done, and you can move on to the next thing. This little calendar thing here tells me that I've been invited to an event. This is a Chamber of Commerce event. coming up on October 18th. And you can actually click on the event. And if you click on the event, it brings up a window which you can then click on. That'll take you to the event. So this gives you all the details and whatnot. And we'll talk about setting up an event in our intermediate lesson. But that'll take you to the event, show you who's going and whatnot. So then you have the all-important app requests. Being on Facebook, bound to at least half of your friends play games of some sorts, or, well, apps are just mostly games. I've seen a few. There's one called School Feed that's like classmates.com for people. I've checked it out, and I found it to be mostly another source for people to send me advertisements. But everyone likes their games, and if you don't, we'll be talking about it in our advanced lessons, how to make these go away so you don't have to deal with them. But if you click on this outstanding request here, it shows you that these are all people who are playing different games that want me to accept a trinket or a token or a level up, or join them in their game and their magical quest to rid the world of evil vampire bunnies or whatever the heck we're going to do. So now that we have kind of the basic idea of the elements of what we first see when we log into Facebook, we're now ready to consider using the main social function of Facebook. So let's talk about status. Status used to be a permanent set option that you'd have. You'd open Facebook and it would tell you your status, and then it would have your news feed down below it. Since you don't have that anymore, status updates are more fluid. They ended up in the stream with everybody else's. And you can see all your status updates when we go to your page, which we're going to, your timeline, they call it now, which we're going to do here in just a minute. Now, let's say that I really want everybody to know that I'm recording this tutorial. So I go up here and click on this little box here, which is an update status box. And here you can add a photo or video, which we're going to do in the intermediate lesson, or you can poll and ask a question like, do you think that there should really be Facebook? Yes, no, or it's a waste of time. And you can add questions to that, and we'll cover that in a later lesson as well. But for now, we're just going to update our status. So I'm going to say recording a Facebook tutorial. Yeah, it helps if you spell at the office right now. Okay, so we have this tutorial. There's some buttons down here. This one is a button that lets you say, like, let's say you're walking on the beach with your girlfriend or whatever. So you'll say recording a Facebook tutorial, right? I'm saying recording a Facebook tutorial right now, and I want to say that my employee Mike's here. So I'd say I type this and sign up here. The and sign tells the Facebook interface that I want to link it to something. So I'm going to look for Mike in here, and I found him. So now if you notice he's highlighted like that, that means that we've added Mike to a post. Now two things happen here. Everyone who's subscribed to me as a friend sees that this update. Anyone that's Mike's friend sees that he's here during the recording, even though I sent him home. So, but it shows up on his Facebook friends as well that this is an update to his status. So any friends that I don't have but that he has also sees the update. This button here lets you set a location. So I'm at Generation D Computers. Generation D. And here we show up right here. So now we've got a location, and we've got what we're doing. So this third button tells you who to share it with. And because I don't really want people to see that, but I'm going to set it as only me. But you could say friends, or you could say public, and and you have an option, which we'll talk about later, about sorting friends from acquaintances in your friend list, but that'll be covered in the advanced option. Or you can go to custom, and then you can set up different groups of friends to receive your notifications or whatnot. But we can talk about that more on another time. So we're going to go ahead and click post. And now we're going to go ahead and remove this really quick before Mike gets word that we posted that on there. And it's gone. Anything that you post can be removed by clicking on the X that appears up in the corner. We'll talk about hiding other people's posts at another point, but that's basically how posting is done. And again, you can go here and add a photo or ask a question, but we'll be covering these later. But something to remember about this particular interface is this is only for you. This is your interface. It's not what people see when they search for you. When you go to somebody's page, this is what it looks like. It's got a history of your posts. So like here I posted some photos, and it shows who commented on them or liked them or whatnot. And it also shows app updates over here, like I played a slot machine game, or someone gave me wood in a game, which sounds highly inappropriate. Okay, so at the top of your page, it shows you what's called a cover picture, which is this nifty little background here. I chose a picture of the recent fire we had. It kind of made an interesting lighting effect and whatnot, so I snapped that from my cover picture. This is your thumbnail picture or whatnot that shows up on all your Facebook posts. Whenever you post something, this will be next to it. Of course, I'm one of those obnoxious parents that has my kid on there, because that's what I like to do. This is all your personal information. When you set up your Facebook account, you go through a what's called a wizard, which is a thing that basically sets your information up for you. However, this does tend to change from time to time. So if you click on update info here, this only shows up on yours, and no one else can see that. You can go and edit all the different details about yourself. You can add your addresses, the places you've worked, the things that happen in your life. We'll talk a little bit more about life events and timeline stuff in a later lesson. There's also the option to add family and how they're connected to you. Contact information that you can limit or update as much as you want. Facebook is a total doesn't require most of this information. A lot of it just helps to link you to different groups and schools and whatnot to expand your social, but some people are more comfortable about keeping it limited. And if you're not really, up on internet privacy and all that stuff, the less information, the better. So, just learn to protect yourself the best you can. So that's the timeline view. I want to show you something else from this as well. These are this tells you who your friends are. So if you click on this, it gives you a list of your friends, and you can either search for your friends' pages here or whatever. So here we are in the friends section, and then I can click on one, and it brings us to their timeline view. Now notice they don't have the options to edit stuff here. This is you viewing their profile. So, and this has got the same setup as yours, only it's their information, and they're providing, information about themselves. So that's on there. Going back to the view, we also have one for photos, and Now, when you first get here, this is all photos of you, whether you've posted them or somebody's tagged you in them, which we'll show you at a later point how to tag a photograph. These are all pictures of you that show up here, and they're notice the timeline. You've got 2011, and you can click down here, and it'll bring up more from previous years. Here's 2010 in Las Vegas, and getting married by Elvis. And just all the different things you do, those all show up in the timeline view. And so I really like the timeline. A lot of people are still getting used to the way Facebook has now arranged that with everything being associated with the timeline, whether it be a post or whatever it is. This is the photos that you've posted is the second one. So these aren't ones that necessarily have you in them, but it's all the photos that you've posted. This one's photos of you that you've posted and that other people have posted that you're tagged in. So these are then all the photos. And this can be quite a daunting list when you get down to it, although Facebook's being weird right now and not showing me anything past that. So there's 1,035 of them. Well, what you do is sort your photos by albums. Basically, when we get to the point and talk about uploading photos, we'll show you that you can specify albums for certain things. So, like if I wanted one of my cats, then they go in every time I upload a picture of the cat, they go in their own album. So they're all sorted in here and whatnot. Back on your timeline view. So you've looked at your photos, and there's a map of the country here. This is kind of a cool feature. Waiting for Facebook to load. Little circle of death. There we go. This basically shows you actually a world view of all the different places you've been. Every time you tag yourself in a photograph or somebody else tags you, it puts a mark there. So this is Mexico. Click on trip to Puebla, bringing it up. And this shows you all the pictures from when you're there and whatnot from that location. Also, anytime there's different kind of posts. Like these are pictures, but you can also have like you can search by places lived, so you can sort that. So this shows you all the places you've lived in the different places. I don't know why that's. Oh, it's Santa Ana is in California, so sometimes there's a little glitch. Like there'll be multiple locations for a place. So even though it says this picked Santa Ana, Mexico, as opposed to Santa Ana, California. So it's always a good thing to go back and check your facts too when you see them in a visual form. You can also record trips and whatnot. Took a trip across the country a while back, so that'll show you that trip, and it'll also show you here. And any life events that you've had going across country would be on there. Obviously, being born, moving, they all kind of show up on the map. And then just going back to the photo layer shows you just the different spots where your pictures have been taken and whatnot. So it's really a cool tool. People don't explore it as much, but the more stuff you do on Facebook and the more you spend the time to do that, the better it kind of sets everything into place for you. Now, if you notice on the side here, you've got a bar with years. This will take all your pictures, all your posts, everything from the timeline, and sorts it into the timeline. I mean, it's actually absolutely everything. So let's say I want to look at 2009. You click on 2009, and it begins the process of filtering through to that year, and it actually came up. When they first did this, it took forever for this to come up, and half the time it wouldn't. So you'd have to refresh your web page and it would come up again. But it appears that at least right now it's being fairly stable. So this is back in the 2009 era. You can see everything. Here's the pictures that were posted, people posting pictures of you, yada, yada, yada. You can even go back and start at birth, which most people don't have stuff this far back. I posted my birth in here, and that stuff, because I'm weird like that. But this starts to show you where you started to post stuff earlier in life. So if you go back here, you'll see the time between, and this is where we're starting to get into the Facebook server just having problems. We moved the Shelton back here, and these are all events, but this is all pre getting on Facebook, so there's no Facebook posts or anything like that. So all this you'd have to add manually if you wanted people to know, when you used to live somewhere, or when you graduated from high school. So I added some stuff for that, and now those are in there, which is kind of cool, because again, this links nicely with any kind of classmates website or anything like that. It links in or ties you to a job that you had. If you don't want people to know where you work, probably not good to put it on Facebook, because everything's searchable. So it's fun to put the information there. Just remember that it's somewhat public. And what's cool is you can also go to an object and change its privacy features, which we'll talk about after a bit. So still haven't found the joining Facebook. I think it was somewhere in here. Nope. So whenever you join Facebook, it adds a little, what's called a life event here we talked about, that just says you joined Facebook. So that's a good way of delineating from anything you filled in the past to the beginning of comments and other things on Facebook. So that's basically how the timeline works. It lets you sort by year and kind of go through and see the different posts and whatnot. Again, we can see, though, that Facebook is freezing when asking to move from one timeline event to another. It does eventually catch up sometimes. Sometimes it won't. Depends on your internet connection and whatnot. So while they continue to work it out, just kind of be patient with that. And one more of these we forgot to mention up here. These are the likes. Basically, if you've liked a page on Facebook, this is where they show up. And you can come through here and open one like Anthony Bourdain page, and you can click on it here and unlike it, and that way you'll stop getting updates about it. But anyone that's liked is fair game for them to send you an update, and for you to show up as someone who you've liked their item. So it's a very casual acquaintance with an item or whatnot, but it's another marketing tool that they use. Or it's a good way to be notified if you genuinely do care about the product or the page or whatever. There are some things that are for charities and whatnot, so they're good ways to find out. There's also news organizations and stuff. I've got a subscription to KMAS, which is our local news feed, and we just had a fire recently, so it was nice to get the constant updates of the fire in my news feed. I didn't have to go looking for it. It's kind of just a new way to get any kind of information. So this has been basically our basic overview. Watch our second video for intermediate Facebook stuff. We'll talk about pictures, we'll talk about tagging, we'll talk about a few more of the more intermediate steps. And then if you feel you've already got that down, you can actually skip to our advanced lesson where we're going to talk about how to hide things from your stream, or how to block app requests without having to block a whole person. Or we'll talk about just more in-depth customization of users, helping to set it up so that only certain people can read certain things that you post, how to deal with your pictures, how to deal with some of the quirkiness of some of the stuff that happens in Facebook. But if you found this video helpful, please review it or share it. And as always, thanks for watching.